Welcome back. In this session, we will discuss computer and digital resources in science teaching. Rapid scientific and technological developments, along with the changes in the structure of the society, influence the educational system in general and instructional method in particular. Such a trend brings about new attempts and needs in terms of the teaching learning process. Among these new attempts is the use of computers in instructional endeavor, as they are considered as effective communication and individual learning tools. The integration of technology in education is a growing phenomenon. A tremendous amount of time and money has been devoted to making technology accessible to students with the promise of increased student achievement. Computers are used as teaching tools and a means for creating work product. Now we will discuss some of the technological support in education where computers are used in general and internet is used in particular. InflipNet, Information Library Network. InflipNet Center is an autonomous inter-university center of UGC involved in creating infrastructure for sharing of the library and information resources and services among academic and research institutions. InflipNet works collaboratively with Indian university libraries to shape the future of the academic libraries in the evolving information environment. InflipNet is a major national program initiated by the UGC in 1991 with its headquarters at Gujarat University campus, Ahmedabad. Initially started as a project under IUCAA, it became an independent inter-university center in 1996. InflipNet is involved in modernizing university libraries in India and connecting them with the information centers in the country through a nationwide high-speed data network using the state-of-the-art technologies for the optimum utilization of information. InflipNet is set out to be a major player in promoting scholarly communication among the academicians and researchers in India. Objectives and responsibility. This group has been created for promoting research and development activities in area of networking and quality management. Major responsibility for this group is to manage, maintain and timely update the campus-wide network and UGC Infonet. One of the major objectives of this group is to coordinate with UGC network, the wide area network connecting all the academic institutions under University Grants Commission for setting or managing data center for various databases of InflipNet, Indian Universities Information Centers. This group is working progressively for implementing total quality control for in-house developed software, training or workshop in the area of network management, security design and state-of-the-art technologies for the library professionals across the country is being initiated by the group. Consultancy work in the area of networking, network securities of universities or colleges. Library is also going to become third area of this group. Major activities: LAN or WAN, setup and maintenance at InflipNet, assisting universities or colleges for campus LAN, design network security policy of Tech Center and UGC Infonet, network traffic management, network resources allocation to the other groups, systems administrations, configuration and tuning, database administration and tuning, disaster recovery plan for e-resources, system maintenance of all IT equipments at center, testing and quality control of software developed at the center, guidelines, suggestions and standards to all development groups for maintaining quality. Goals of InflipNet: achieve complete automation of libraries in educational institutions. Next, create union catalogs of documents available in the libraries in online and real-time environment. Next, provide seamless and ambiguous access to scholarly, peer-reviewed electronic resources to the universities. Promote digitalization of legacy documents and creation of content in e-format, including electronic thesis and dissertations, electronic version of research articles, working papers, technical reports, concept papers, technical reports, annual reports, statistical data, etc. in universities. Next, promote setting up of open access digital repositories in universities for hosting content created in the process mentioned above. Develop expertise in digital content creation, process of digitalization, managing digital depositories. Impart training in applications on various aspects of new technology to achieve goals mentioned above. Teleconferencing. Teleconferencing means meeting through a telecommunications medium. It is a generic term for linking people between two or more locations by electronics. There are at least 6 types of teleconferencing: audio, audiographic, computer, video business television, and distance education. The methods used differ in the technology, but common factors contribute to the shared definition of teleconferencing. Use a telecommunication channel, link people at multiple locations, interactive to provide two-way communications, dynamic to require users' active participation. Interactive technologies. The new systems have varying degrees of interactivity. The capability to talk back to the user. They are enabling satellites, computers, teletext, video data, cassettes, cable, and video disc all fit the same emerging pattern. They provide ways for individuals to step out of the mass audience and take an active role in the process by which information is transmitted. The new technologies are demassified so that a special message can be exchanged with each individual in a large audience. They are opposite to mass media and shift control to the user. Many are asynchronous and can send or receive a message at the time convenient for individuals without being in communication at the same time. This overcomes time as a variable affecting communication. A video data and voice delivery system reduces travel cost. When the material is retrieved and saved to a videotape or disk, the material can be used at any time or any place. As more interactive technologies emerge, the value of being an independent learner will increase. Research shows that learning from new technologies is as effective as traditional methods. Large groups are cost effective and everyone gets the same information. Types of teleconferences: audio teleconference, voice only, sometimes called conference calling. Interactively links people in remote locations via telephone lines. Audio bridges tie all lines together. Meetings can be conducted via audio conference. Pre-planning is necessary, which includes naming a chair, setting an agenda, and providing printed materials to the participants ahead of time so that they can be reviewed. Distance learning can be conducted by audio conference. In fact, it is one of the most underutilized yet cost-effective methods available to education. Instructors should receive training on how to best utilize audio conferences to augment other forms of distance learning. Audio graphics teleconference uses narrowband telecommunications channels to transmit visual information such as graphics, alphanumerics, documents, and video pictures as an adjunct to voice communication. Other terms are desktop computer conferencing and enhanced audio. Devices include electronic tablets or boards, freeze-frame video terminals, integrated graphic systems as part of the personal computers, fax, remote access microfiche and slide projectors, optical graphic scanners and voice data terminals. Audio graphics can be used for meetings and distance learning. Computer teleconference uses telephone lines to connect two or more computers and modems. Anything that can be done on a computer can be sent over the lines. It can be synchronous or asynchronous. An example of an asynchronous mode is electronic mail. Using electronic mail or email, memos, reports, updates and newsletters can be sent to anyone on the local area network or wide area network. Items generated on computer which are normally printed and then sent by facsimile can be sent by email. Computer conferencing is an emerging area for distance education. Some institutions offer credit programs completely by computer. Students receive text and workbooks via mail. Though common files assigned to a class which each student can access, teachers upload syllabi, lectures, grades and remarks. Students download these files, compose their assignment and remarks offline and then upload them to common files. Video teleconference combines audio and video to provide voice communications and video images. It can display anything that can be captured by a TV camera. The advantage is the capability to display moving images. In two-way audio-video systems, a common application is to show people which create a social presence that resembles face-to-face meetings and classes and enables participants to see the facial expressions and physical demeanor of participants at remote sites. Graphics are used to enhance understanding. There are three basic systems: freeze frame, compressed and full motion video. Advantages of teleconferencing. First, electronic delivery is more efficient than physically moving people to a site, whether it is a faculty member or administrator. Save time. Content presented by one or many sources is received in many places simultaneously and instantly. Travel is reduced, resulting in more productive time. Communication is improved and meetings are more efficient. It adds a competitive edge that face-to-face meetings do not. Lower cost. Cost, travel, meals, lodging are reduced by keeping employees in the office, speeding up product development cycles, improving performance through frequent meetings with timely information. Accessible through any organization site in the world. Larger audiences. More people can attend. The larger the audience, the lower cost per person. Adaptable. Useful for business, associations, hospitals and institutions to discuss, inform, train, educate or present. Flexible. With a remote receive or transmit truck, a transmit or receive site can be located anywhere. Security. Signals can be encrypted or scrambled when it is necessary. Encryption provides outside viewers. Unity. Provides a shared sense of identity. People feel more a part of the group more often. Individuals or groups at multiple locations can be linked frequently. Timely. For time critical information, sites can be linked quickly. An audio or point-to-point teleconference can be convened in 3 minutes. Interactive. Dynamic requires the user active participation. It enhances personal communication. When used well for learning, the interactivity will enhance the learning and teaching experience. EduSat. EduSat, launched on September 20, 2004, is the first Indian satellite built exclusively for serving the educational sector. It is mainly intended to meet the demand for an interactive satellite-based distance education system for the country. It strongly reflects India's commitment to use space technology for national development, especially for educating the population in remote and rural locations. The 1950 kg EduSat was launched from Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota, into a geosynchronous transfer orbit by ISRO's Geosynchronous Satellites Launch Vehicle, GSLV F-01. From GTO, EduSat was maneuvered to 36,000 km high geostationary orbit by firing in stages its onboard liquid apogee motor. In GSO, The satellite is co-located with Kalpana 1 and INSAT 3C satellites at 74° east longitude. Compared to the satellites launched in INSAT series earlier, EduSat has several new technologies. The spacecraft is built around a standardized spacecraft bus called I2K. It has a multiple spot beam antenna with 1.2 meter reflector to direct precisely the Ku band spot beams towards their intended regions of India, a dual core bent heat pipe for thermal control, high efficiency multi-junction solar cells, and an improved thruster configuration for optimized propellant use for orbit and orientation maintenance. The satellite uses radiatively cooled Ku band traveling wave tube amplifiers and dielectrically loaded C band demultiplexer for its communication payloads. EduSat carries 5 Ku band transponders providing spot beams, 1 Ku band transponder providing a national beam, and 6 extended C band transponders with national coverage beam. Its joint INSAT system, which has more than 150 transponders in C band, extended C band, and Ku band, providing variety of telecommunication and television services. Applications of EduSat. This is an exclusive satellite for education and will overcome the dearth of quality teachers. Concept of education with no classrooms, no teachers, and no books would become a reality. Science classes and laboratory experiments too can thus be beamed from a virtual class. A single lecturer can reach 10,000 students at the same time. This lecture can be stored as a computer file and the students can access it according to their convenience. Audio CD can also be made if necessary. We can download programs directly in our computers, arrange online education with the internet, create audio interactivity using telephone as they return link and delivery of video lessons. The studio will have uplink facility to the satellite. Courseware and softwares. Courseware is a term that combines the words course with software. Its meaning originally was used to describe additional educational material intended as kits for teachers or trainers or as tutorials for students, usually packaged for use with a computer. The term's meaning and usage can expand and can refer to the entire course and any additional material when used in reference an online computer formatted classroom. Many companies are using the term to describe the entire package consisting of one class or course bundled together with the various lessons, tests, and other materials needed. The courseware itself can be in different formats. Some are only available online, such as HTML pages, while others can be downloaded in PDF files or other types of document files. Many forms of e-learning are now being blended with term courseware. Most leading educational companies solicit or include courseware with their training packages. Assessment software. With the impact of environmental damage and the need for institutions to become paperless, more educational institutions are seeking alternative ways of assessment and testing, which has always traditionally been known to use a vast amount of paper. Assessment software refers to software with a primary purpose of assessing and testing the students in a virtual environment. Assessment software allows students to complete tests and examinations using a computer, usually network. The software then scores each test transcript and output results for each student. Moodle is an example of open source software with an assessment component that is gaining popularity. Other particular international assessment systems include Question Mark, EvaluNet-XT. Reference software. Many publishers of print dictionaries and encyclopedias have been involved in the production of educational reference software since in the mid-1990s. They were joined in the reference software market by both startup companies and established software companies. most notably Microsoft. The first commercial reference software products were reformulations of the existing content into CD-ROM editions, often supplemented with new multimedia content, including compressed video and sound. More recent products made use of Internet technologies to supplement CD-ROM products, then more recently to replace them entirely. Wikipedia and its offspring such as Wiktionary marked a new departure in the educational reference software. Previously, encyclopedias and dictionaries had compiled their contents on the basis of invited and closed teams of specialists. The wiki concept has allowed for the development of collaborative reference works through open cooperation incorporating expert and non-experts. E-content. Normally, in the growth of technology applications in education, we are moving towards a virtual reality where the distance between teacher and the tout is nil. The possibility of such virtual reality can be made by generating good e-contents and accessible by all. E-contents are basically a package that satisfies the conditions like minimization of the distance, cost effectiveness, user friendliness and adaptability to local conditions. E-content is digital information delivered over network-based electronic devices, that is, symbols that can be utilized and interpreted by human actors during communication process, which allow them to share visions and influence each other's knowledge, attitudes or behavior. It may also be defined as digital text and images designed for display on web pages. E-content means content in the electronic form. It is a combination of text, audio, video, images, animation with visual effects. Any digitized content that can facilitate the learning process and or learning outcome can be termed as e-content. E-content defined as learning material with relation to new media. The acquisition of these contents takes place via 4 different channels: purchase of materials, use of freely available content on the internet, self-production of the material, exchange of existing material in a network with other institutions of higher education, universities or universities of applied sciences, etc. Nature of e-content. E-content should essentially be didactic in nature. The term didactic refers to content such as self-instructional material, audio and video that convey some moral, fact or learning. In virtual education, the self-instructional materials are essentially didactic in nature. The philosophy behind this is that self-instructional materials try to bring the gap between the teacher and the taught. The philosophy stands good for the e-content generation too. According to Zelinker, e-content should be seen as a tool to improve the understanding, engagement and motivation of learners, to provide a safe environment for them to experiment and explore their conjectures, and to test their understanding using novel assessment methodologies based on trial and improvement, simulations and manipulation of models. The didactic nature of e-content seems to fulfill this condition, as the learner, while reading the didactic content, builds an understanding and then assess that understanding using quiz puzzles. E-content can also be utilized as reusable learning objects. Wiley gave a working definition of learning object as any digital resource that can be reused to support learning. Design and developmental process of e-content. A systematic and scientific approach is needed to develop quality content. Instructional design is the teaching device that makes instruction as well as instructional material more engaging, effective and efficient. It is the branch of knowledge concerned with research and theory about instructional strategies and the process for developing and implementing those strategies. Instructional design is the process of systematic development of instructional specifications using learning and instructional theory to ensure the quality of instruction. There are 3 learning theories: cognitism, constructivism and behaviorism, support the instructional design as backbone. Cognitism envisages the organization of the content, storing and retrieving of the content. Constructivism supports the learner-centered holistic approach in e-learning. Behaviorism stresses the reinforcement, retention and transfer of knowledge in e-content development. Generally, e-content development classified as follows. First, assembled e-content. Second, short courseware, unit or module. Third, full courseware. Fourth, short learning objects. Those can be represented in the form of e-learning modules and short learning objects. E-learning module is a comprehensive package containing a lesson according to the guidelines of University Grants Commission. The academic content of each of a module should comprise of a home, objectives, subject mapping, summary, text, case studies, FAQs, video and audio, assignments, quiz, tutorial, references, glossary, links, download, blog, contact. Short learning object is a new way of thinking about learning content. They are much smaller units of learning, typically ranging from 2 or 3 minutes. It may be a description about an item, a concept, equipment, a property, characteristic feature, process, form, definition, activity, reaction, plan, cause and effect relations, causative factors of events, results of events, applications of phenomena or processes, explanation of components in a subject of learning, etc. E-learning through e-content. One of the most innovative and promising outcomes of distance learning and telecommunication relationship is e-learning. It is a process whereby teachers and students are linked up in an electronic media computer network. E-learning facilitates the learner in terms of anytime learning, anywhere learning, asynchronous interaction and group collaboration. E-learning provides the possibility of teaching based on learning objects. Learning objects are the smallest independent educational components which can be reused in e-content of different subjects and authors. Thus, it is more economical and time-saving in e-content development. The teaching method in e-learning has changed from being teacher-based to being student-based. Virtual environment can create pervasive and dynamic interaction through virtual simulation, which will upgrade learning accompanied by hearing and seeing to practical learning and experiencing. Learning becomes effective when students are actively involved in the process to the extent their different senses are related. Their learning becomes successful. For using various senses in the teaching learning process, different materials are utilized. The learning experiences are thus made quite relevant, meaningful and effective. Nowadays, these instructional materials have various connotations. They minimize cost and distance, and they always perform operations in their maximum speed. So, in this module, we have made familiar with some of the such technologies like InflipNet, Teleconferencing, EduSat and Courseware and softwares. Now, let us try to answer the following questions. List the various applications of EduSat in education. Next, write a script for developing e-content development for a concept or prepare a rating scale to evaluate an educational CD and evaluate one using the same. Visit InflipNet and download materials on the research in science education. Conduct a teleconferencing session using the new generation media technology like Skype. Prepare a storyboard on the topic of your choice for e-content development. The references for this session are Multimedia for Learning Methods and Development, written by LSESM and Trolip SR in 2001, published by Needham Heights, MS Allen and Bacon. E-content in Europe, Dimensions of an Emerging Field, written by Buchholz, Antria and Surface Ansgar in 2005, published by MFG Baden, Rittenberg, Germany. Just in Time for the 21st Century, Multimedia in Classroom, written by Compact J in 1994, published by Tech Trends. Science Education, Theoretical Basis of Teaching Pedagogic Analysis, written by T.K. Matthew and Molecular T.M. in 2006, published by Rainbow Book Publishers, Trivandrum. Mobile Learning, Its Implication in Education and Training, an article written by Mishra J. in 2007, published in University News, New Delhi. Hope you have enjoyed this session. We will meet in a new session. Till then, bye.